For years, you've been fed the same promise on repeat. Think positive. Picture your dream life. Repeat affirmations in the mirror. Raise your vibration. Attract what you desire. You've been told that your thoughts create your reality, that your mind is a magnet, that the law of attraction is the master key to your future. You were told you could manifest your destiny. And you probably gave it an honest shot. You've sat in silence, visualizing the life you want. You've whispered affirmations until your throat felt dry and your own voice annoyed you. You've tried to hold only high-vibe thoughts, even while your life was collapsing in slow motion. And then, quietly, you encountered the same uncomfortable truth that so many eventually reach. It doesn't really work the way it was advertised. Or if it works, it does so in small, inconsistent, unsatisfying ways that don't touch the deepest parts of your life. The reason is not that you're broken, lazy, or not spiritual enough. It's because the law of attraction is only the thinnest surface layer of how creation actually moves. It's like standing on the shore of the Pacific and believing you can command the ocean by stirring the foam with your fingers. Technically, yes, you're touching the water. Technically, you're causing ripples. But compared to the currents, the tides, the gravity of the moon, and the rotation of the earth, your influence is almost nothing. The law of attraction works through your conscious mind, your personal will, the tiny ego that tries to bend reality to its preferences, and that part of you has very limited reach. Your conscious mind is a single drop floating in an ocean of infinite intelligence. So, after a while, people begin to look deeper and discover something more fundamental: karma. They see that actions have consequences, that we reap what we sow, that life mirrors back what we put into it. And that is deeply true. Karma is real. It is not a superstition or a slogan. It runs much deeper than the law of attraction, because it is not just about what you think. It's about what you do, how you show up, how you live. Karma is woven into the fabric of the universe, cause and effect, action and result. But even karma has its boundaries. It still moves inside time and space. It still follows chains of causality. It still operates inside the rules of the visible universe. And so a bolder question appears. Is there something that can transcend even karma? Is there a law that can step outside time and space, beyond cause and effect? Is there a power that can reach into your story and rewrite what seemed already written? Your past, your destiny, the weight of everything you did before, the sages, mystics, and saints have given the same answer for thousands of years. Yes, there is such a law. They called it grace. Grace is not just a nicer version of karma or a more refined form of attraction. It is a completely different order of power. Grace is a law of the universe that is 1,000 times more powerful than anything your effort can produce. Not because it's complicated or esoteric, but because it does not begin in your little mind. It does not move through your personal will. It is not triggered by perfect technique or perfect vibration. Grace operates from an entirely different dimension of reality. Sweet. Grace operates from infinite intelligence itself. To understand why grace is incomparably more powerful, you need to see how the three laws of creation stack on top of each other. Each law works at a different depth. Each has its own scope. Each has limits that the next law can transcend. The first law is the law of attraction. The law of attraction says that your inner state tends to attract matching circumstances. Think abundance, and you tend to notice and draw in opportunities. Think scarcity, and you tend to see only lack and limitation. There is truth in this. Your mindset matters. Your thoughts do shape perception and influence choices, but this law is still the shallowest level. It's powered by your conscious mind and your personal will, and those things, by themselves, are minuscule compared to the vast intelligence that holds galaxies together. The second law is the law of karma. Karma says that every action carries an inevitable ripple of consequence. You plant a seed, something will grow. You speak with kindness, something softens. You act with cruelty, something hardens. Karma is deeper than attraction because it is rooted in the very architecture of reality. It is the universe keeping balance, but even karma cannot step outside the rules. It is still limited by time, by space, by causality. An action in your past must bear fruit in your future, according to precise chains of cause and effect. That is how karma runs its course. But above both these laws, there exists a third, a law that doesn't just tweak outcomes, but can override the entire script. A law that stands outside the movie altogether. A law that does not come from your mind, your effort, or even your good deeds. This is the law of grace. Grace is the direct, unearned intervention of infinite intelligence in your life. Not because you said the right words, not because you finally managed to stay high vibe for 30 days in a row, not because your list of good actions finally outweighed your bad ones on some cosmic scale. Grace moves simply because you stopped pretending you're in control and surrendered to something infinitely wiser. The Bhagavad Gita paints this beautifully through the conversation between Arjuna and Krishna. Arjuna is you and me. The limited individual will, standing on the battlefield of life, terrified and confused, trying to solve a cosmic problem with a human mind. Krishna is the infinite divine will, the intelligence beyond all limits. As long as Arjuna believes he must figure it out alone, he is paralyzed. When he finally surrenders, when he says, "I don't know, guide me," everything begins to align. This is the core difference between the three laws. The law of attraction whispers, "Be strong. Use your mind to command reality." The law of karma says, "Be responsible. Your actions have weight and you will meet their consequences." But the law of grace speaks a different language. Stop trying to be the lone architect of your life. Lay down the illusion of control. Let infinite intelligence move through you. Then comes the natural objection. If karma is a universal law, how can grace break it? How can anything stand above a law that says every action must bear its fruit? The answer reveals how reality is layered. Karma operates inside the domain of cause and effect. It belongs to the world of time and space. It governs the manifested universe. The level at which events happen, bodies live and die, stories rise and fall. Grace, however, comes from a level prior to all of that. It operates from the very source of creation, from the place where time has not yet begun, where space has not yet unfolded, where cause and effect have not yet arisen. Karma is a law inside the movie. Grace is the power that turns on the projector. Imagine your life as a film playing on a screen. A long sequence of causes and consequences, scenes and climaxes, all unfolding in time. Karma moves inside that film, making sure every action leads somewhere. Grace does not dive into the scenes and wrestle with the plot. Grace steps back to the level of the projector itself, the place where the film is being cast into existence. From that vantage point, the entire story can be rewritten. Past, present, future can be rearranged because, at that level, they are all part of a single projection. But here is the crucial point. Grace is not automatic. It doesn't flood your life just because you say, "please," once. Grace respects your freedom. It responds not to polite spiritual language, but to genuine surrender. Grace flows when you stop pretending that your small will can control everything and you genuinely open to something greater. As long as you cling to the belief, I'm in charge, I can think my way through everything, I can strategize and hustle my way out of any situation, grace will step back. It will not violate your choice to live as if you are alone. But the moment you reach that raw, honest place in your heart where you say, I don't know what I'm doing, I can't carry this by myself, I need help, something shifts. That crack in your certainty becomes an opening for grace to pour through. The great teachers all pointed to this. Rumi urged complete surrender, not as weakness, but as the doorway to real freedom. Christ prayed, not my will, but yours, not because he lacked strength, but because he knew where true strength comes from. Across cultures and centuries, and the message has been the same. Surrender is the path to real power. Real power does not come from clutching tighter or pushing harder. It comes from allowing a far greater power to work through you. It comes from stepping aside internally, dropping your resistance, and cooperating with the intelligence that already knows what is best, even when your mind doesn't. This is why grace is 1,000 times more powerful than your efforts to manage everything. It doesn't just add more energy to the same game. It plays an entirely different game. Grace is not stronger karma. It's a force from the source itself. And from that level, anything is possible. The practical question then arises, how do I actually do this? How do I surrender in real life? How do I stop obsessively manifesting and instead allow grace to move? Because just saying, I surrender once before bed is not enough. True surrender is not a sentence, and it's a shift in the way you live. Most of us are conditioned to push from the moment we wake up. Push toward goals. Push away from fears. Push ourselves harder. Push life where we think it should go. It's exhausting, and many people only discover at the end of their lives that all that pushing never brought the peace they were secretly seeking. Surrender is not the opposite of responsibility. It's the opposite of control addiction. Surrender is choosing to stop fighting reality and instead align with it. It is the willingness to open, to listen, to respond rather than react. It begins very simply by noticing where you push. Where in your life are you trying to force an outcome? Where are you resisting what is clearly happening? Where are you clinging desperately to the idea that it must be this way or else? In those moments, you are invited to do something radically different. Pause, breathe, acknowledge honestly. Right now, I'm trying to control something I don't fully understand. Then say, from the heart, I don't know the best answer here, but there is an intelligence that does. I surrender this situation to that intelligence. Show me the next right step. And then you act. But you act from responsiveness, not from panic or obsession. This is not a call to sit on the couch and expect miracles to be delivered like packages. You still take responsibility for your choices. You still show up at work. You still have the hard conversations, pay the bills, do your part. But you stop demanding that life obey your script. You stop tying your worth to whether things unfold exactly as you planned. You stop treating the universe as your servant and start relating to it as your partner. When you live this way consistently, when you practice surrender not as a last resort, but as your primary posture, something extraordinary begins to unfold. You start to notice doors opening that you never even knew existed. People appear at the right time. Resources arrive from directions your mind would never have predicted. Obstacles that seemed immovable quietly dissolve or turn into stepping stones. This is not because you finally discovered the perfect technique. It's because you stopped blocking what was trying to reach you all along. Grace was never absent. It was simply crowded out by your fear, your control, your insistence that you knew best. You asked the universe to help and then argued with every way it tried to do so. When you stop arguing and start trusting, grace can finally pour through with full strength. Your life, from the outside, might still look normal, but from the inside, everything feels different. The struggle softens, the anxiety loosens. You begin to feel carried. You begin to experience what the ancients simply called miracle, not as a rare event, but as a new normal. Reality responding in ways your old self would have called impossible. History is full of real, breathing people who experienced this. They were not perfect. They were not born with halos. They were simply human beings who reached the end of their rope and chose surrender over despair. They didn't impress grace, they allowed it. Ramakrishna and Mahasaya, Bengali masters, opened themselves to grace so completely that their very state of being became a doorway to higher consciousness. They did not write vision boards for their enlightenment. They did not obsess over techniques. They lived in moment-to-moment surrender to divine intelligence, and in that surrender, grace moved through them without obstruction. Milarepa, the Tibetan master, carried the weight of real, heavy karma. Not metaphorical mistakes, but true wrongdoing. According to strict karmic accounting, he would have needed many lifetimes to burn through the consequences of his actions. But when he surrendered totally, when his repentance was complete and his devotion unwavering, grace did what karma alone could not. It transformed him in a single lifetime. The story is not that he escaped responsibility, but that he opened so deeply that grace could rewrite the script. Anandamayi Ma, the Indian saint, radiated a presence that seemed to heal and resolve whatever entered her field. People brought illnesses, conflicts, impossible problems. Again and again, something beyond logic unfolded around her. Not because she was special in some egoic sense, but because her individual will had dissolved into something greater. She lived as an instrument, and when the instrument gets out of the way, the music can play freely. These are not distant myths meant to make you feel small. They are demonstrations of what becomes possible when grace is given full permission to move. And here is the most astonishing part. The same grace is available to you, not a watered-down version, not a cheaper model. The same power that moved through saints, sages, and mystics is quietly present in your life right now, waiting for your yes. Grace is not reserved for a spiritual elite. It does not require a title, a robe, or a monastery. It requires only a human heart willing to tell the truth. I don't have all the answers. I'm tired of pretending I do. I'm ready to trust something bigger than my fear. When you reach that place honestly and repeatedly, you begin to discover that grace has been your birthright all along. It has waited patiently through every season of your life. Through your victories, your failures, your attempts to control, your moments of collapse. It is willing, right now, to reshape your path in ways you cannot yet imagine, but it will not force itself on you. You must meet it halfway with your willingness to stop resisting and start listening. And this leads to a radical truth. Everything you've learned about manifestation, positive thinking, vision boards, and vibrational alignment has only been the warm-up. These tools were never meant to be your final destination. They are training wheels to help you realize that you are more than a victim of circumstance. But once you've learned that, you are invited to something far deeper, to take the training wheels off. To truly transform your life, you have to go beyond the obsession with manifesting. That doesn't mean giving up on intentions or living without direction. It means changing the inner engine from which your intentions arise. It means shifting from "I must control everything" to "I will do my part and trust a higher order to handle the rest." When you stop manifesting from your ego, when you stop trying to bully reality into giving you what you think you want, grace can finally step forward. Then life stops being a wrestling match and becomes a partnership. Things begin to line up in ways your old self could never have orchestrated. And here is the key you cannot ignore. The results of grace are always better than the results of ego. Your ego wants what feels safe, familiar, and impressive. It wants more money, more status, more control, more guarantees. Your soul, on the other hand, wants growth, truth, love, and awakening. It wants the experiences that will crack your shell and reveal who you really are. Those two agendas are often not the same. Grace is loyal to your soul, not your ego. It will not always give you what you asked for, but it will always move you toward what you deeply need. Sometimes that looks like a blessing. Sometimes it looks like a dismantling. But in hindsight, you see that grace was protecting you, redirecting you, and sculpting you the entire time. So the invitation is simple and uncompromising. Surrender. Stop waging war against your own life. Stop obsessively trying to manifest every detail. Stop chanting affirmations while ignoring the deeper fear that drives them. Instead, open your heart and choose trust. Speak honestly to the intelligence that breathes you and say, "I will show up fully in this moment. I will take the next right step I can see. And beyond that, I trust you. Let your will be done, not mine." When those words come from a place of real sincerity, not performance, not spiritual acting, but raw truth, life begins to move through you instead of against you. You feel guided. You feel supported. You begin to see that you were never meant to carry the entire universe on your shoulders. This is the awakening, realizing that you are responsible for your choices, your honesty, your willingness to surrender. But you are not responsible for controlling the whole story. Grace is, and when you allow that grace to lead, your life becomes something far more beautiful, far more powerful, and far more miraculous than anything your small mind could have ever designed.